Late at night, Emmanuel sat alone in his small apartment, staring at the empty bottle of whiskey on the table. His hands trembled as he clutched a photograph of a beautiful woman smiling back at him. But something was wrong with her reflection in the glass. It rippled like water, even though the room was still. Emmanuel had just finished university and was posted to a remote village called Akwa Ocha for his one-year National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) program. It wasn't the kind of place anyone wanted to be sent to, as it was deep in the forest, surrounded by rivers and swamps. At orientation camp, an older corper had warned them about the dangers of getting too close to locals. "Some of these people aren't what they seem," he said with a serious look. "Stay away from strange women near the river." But Emmanuel didn't listen. He thought it was all nonsense, just old wives' tales meant to scare new corps members. When he arrived in Akwa Ocha, the villagers were friendly enough. They welcomed him warmly, though they kept their distance when he asked too many questions. One thing stood out to him. No one ever went near the river after sunset. When he asked why, they simply shook their heads and muttered prayers under their breath. One afternoon, while walking along the edge of the river, Emmanuel saw her, a young woman, washing clothes in the shallow water. She wore a bright wrapper tied around her waist, and her hair was braided neatly. Her laugh carried across the breeze, light and musical. Her name was Ola. She introduced herself shyly but quickly warmed up to Emmanuel's charm. They talked for hours that day, sitting beneath a tree overlooking the river. Over time, they became inseparable. Ola would meet him every evening, always at the same spot by the river. She never came to the village, and she avoided other people. But Emmanuel didn't care. He was falling hard for her. One evening, under the light of the full moon, Ola took Emmanuel's hand. "I want to spend my life with you," she whispered. "Will you marry me?" Caught up in the moment, Emmanuel agreed without hesitation. "Of course," he said. "I'll make you happy." Ola smiled, but there was something strange in her eyes, like sadness mixed with relief. She leaned in and kissed him, her lips cold against his skin. A few weeks later, one of the elders approached Emmanuel. "You've been spending a lot of time with Ola," the man said. "Do you know who she is?" "She's just a girl," Emmanuel replied, annoyed. "What's your point?" The elder sighed. "She's not human. She belongs to the river. If you break your promise to her, she will destroy you." Emmanuel laughed it off. "That's ridiculous. She's just a normal woman." But deep down, he felt uneasy. That night, he noticed something odd. Every time Ola stepped into the water, it seemed to glow faintly around her feet. And whenever he tried to take her picture, the camera wouldn't work. Still, he convinced himself it was just bad lighting or faulty equipment. As his service year came to an end, Emmanuel realized he couldn't stay in Akwa Ocha forever. He loved Ola, but he also dreamed of a better life in the city. On his last day, he promised her again that he'd return someday and marry her. She looked at him silently, her expression unreadable. "I'll come back for you," he said. "I swear." But once he left the village, Emmanuel pushed thoughts of Ola to the back of his mind. Life in the city was busy and exciting. He started a new job, made friends, and dated other women. Slowly, memories of Ola faded. Years passed, but Emmanuel couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. No matter how hard he worked, Nothing seemed to go right. His relationships failed. His career stalled. Even his health began to decline. He grew restless, irritable, and miserable. Desperate for answers, he visited a traditional healer. After listening carefully, the healer nodded grimly. "You made a promise to someone you shouldn't have," he said. "Go back to Aqua Ocha and find the river spirit. Beg for forgiveness, or this curse will follow you until the day you die." Reluctantly, Emmanuel returned to Aqua Ocha. The village hadn't changed much, but the air felt heavier now, charged with tension. He walked to the river bank, where he used to meet Ola. Standing ankle deep in the water, he called out her name. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, the surface of the river began to ripple violently. A figure emerged slowly, Ola, but different. Her once bright eyes now glowed like embers, and her voice was low and chilling. "You broke your promise," she said. "Do you know how long I waited for you? How long I hoped you'd keep your word?" "I'm sorry," Emmanuel stammered. "I didn't mean to hurt you. Please forgive me." Ola studied him for a moment, then sighed. "Forgiveness comes at a price. You must give me something precious." "What do you want?" he asked, trembling. "Your freedom," she replied. "Come live with me in the river, forever." Before Emmanuel could respond, the ground beneath him gave way, pulling him into the icy water. He struggled to escape, but strong currents dragged him deeper. Just before losing consciousness, he saw Ola's face above him, smiling sadly. When he woke up, he was lying on the river bank, gasping for air. Everything seemed normal, except for one thing. Whenever he looked in the mirror, his reflection shimmered like water. And no matter how far he traveled, he could never leave Aqua Ocha behind. The villagers whispered among themselves, "He's cursed to wander between worlds, neither alive nor dead. That's what happens when you betray a river bride."